Hey, how's it going? Seth Williams here from RETipster.com, and today I'm doing my annual update on my Fundrise investment.
Finally!
I think it's been about 9 years of me doing these annual reviews. I actually took a break last year because I just got tired of doing these things, but I'm back in 2026. If you've seen my past videos, you know that every year I log in and I show you exactly what's been happening and just give you the unfiltered, raw results, whether they look good, bad, or somewhere in between. And this year, honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag because if you look at the total return since I put my money in, it actually looks okay. But when you zoom out and look at what has happened over the past 1 or 2 years, especially compared to where this account used to be, it tells kind of a different story. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through my account, what it looks like right now, how it's changed since my last update in 2024, what's working and what's not, and whether or not this still seems to be worth it. And just to be clear, the point of this video is not for me to tell you to go invest your money with Fundrise. This is not financial advice. In fact, I don't even know if I like having my money with Fundrise. The whole point of this is just for me to give you a transparent look at what my money has done since I put it in there. So you can decide for yourself if this makes sense to you. So if this is your first time here, maybe you have no idea what Fundrise is, I'll just give you the quick lowdown. So Fundrise is an investment platform that allows real estate investors like you and me to invest smaller amounts of money into not just one property, but into pools of properties around the country. They call these REITs. Fundrise is not the only company that does this. There's a lot of other similar companies out there. For many of them, the idea is you can either invest your money into a single property, or you have to be an accredited investor, which basically means you have to make a lot of money every single year or already have a lot of money sitting around ready to invest. So it's kind of like them saying, if you're not already rich, then you're not smart enough to invest your money. Whereas with Fundrise, that's not the case. That's kind of one of the things that makes Fundrise more unique. You don't have to be an accredited investor, and you can get started with as little as $10. Now, back when I first got started with Fundrise, the minimum investment amount back then was $1,000. So that's how much I put in. And basically what I did was I just let that money sit there and grow for 5 years because that's how long you have to wait before you can withdraw your principal. And then after that 5-year period, I went ahead and pulled out that original $1,000 and actually documented that whole process in one of my previous videos. If you're curious and want to see what that looked like, you can go and check out the 2022 video. So at this point, what's left in there now is just the leftover profits and reinvested dividends. Now, I will say that what Fundrise brings to the table is not that it's the most lucrative investment out there. It's not even close. There are plenty of other ways to invest in real estate that can make you a lot more money than what Fundrise can do, but those usually require a lot more capital and a lot more risk and a lot more time and effort to actually analyze deals and make things happen. Whereas with Fundrise, it's a very hands-off way to invest. It's kind of similar to the stock market in the sense that you can put your money in and you're just trusting a fund manager to make good decisions and you're hoping to earn a return over the long haul. And if you've seen my past videos, you know that for a while, the returns actually looked really good. But in more recent years, things have definitely not looked as strong. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not here trying to make this look better than it is, and I'm not trying to make it look worse than it is either. So if you do want to check out Fundrise, we do have an affiliate link. It's retipster.com/Fundrise. I'll also have that link beneath this video if you want to check it out. You do have to be at least 18 years old, and you do have to be a US citizen, and you need at least $10 to invest. But if you can check all those boxes, you can get started. Let's go ahead, jump into my account, and I'll show you how everything is looking. Okay, so here we are in my account. You can see how it's looking right now. So remember, like I said, originally I put $1,000 in here back in 2022. I withdrew that. So all the money we see here, all the growth or shrinkage or whatever you see, that's just what was left over after that 1,000 was yanked back out. And it's honestly not looking that good. Not really that good at all. Go ahead and zoom out a little bit at this for all time. So here you can see this was where I took out that $1,000 and it dropped down to $875, and it's kind of just treaded water or gone down since then. Let's dig into this a little bit and understand why this is happening. Apparently, this is a 75.7% return when you look at this based on the all-time return. And this kind of shows you how this is calculated. But if we look at this on like an annual return, if we take 75% divided by the 9 years it's been in there, I think that comes out to like 8.33% return, which is not amazing. Not bad either, though. It's not a loss. So take that for what it is. Now, if we go up here to the transactions tab, we can see every transaction that has ever happened historically. So all the money that I've put in and then all the dividends that they've paid me back. And you can see it's pretty minuscule. It's nothing really to write home about. If we go back and back, I mean, it's really just like a couple bucks or just pocket change each time. And back when I had my $1,000 in there, and back in the days when things were actually going pretty well, the numbers were obviously a little bit better. But, you know, this is nothing that crazy or exciting. I mean, could you do better in the stock market? Certainly these past few years I could have. Will it continue going that way? I don't know. Part of the risk that you take and part of why you want to diversify, because you never know what's going to go up and down. But if we open this up, we can see what makes up this net amount and which fund it came from. If we go over here to portfolio, we can see where all of my invested dollars are placed right now, which REITs they're broken up into. We go down here, we can see what the returns have been annually. You can see in the years of, 2017 through 2021, really, and I guess in 2023 too. They were pretty healthy, but then in 2024, they weren't great at all. In 2025, they were even worse. So far this year in 2026, we're only one quarter through the year. So it's a little early to, make a determination about this year, but it's not looking that awesome. You can see what it is annualized and then cumulatively. It's good information to look through. When we click on net return, we can see this chart that kind of breaks out a different way. Look at it annually or quarterly. And it's important to understand how these dividends are paid and where the value comes from, because sometimes it will come more from dividends and sometimes it will come more from appreciation. So whenever you invest your money in one of these REITs, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video, that money doesn't just go into one property, it goes into sometimes dozens or hundreds of properties. And these properties are different types of projects. Sometimes it's being lent out to a developer who is building something and then selling it. Sometimes there's like rental income coming in. And sometimes this money is funding a development that is then sold and there's this big windfall of cash. But there's never really a massive impact that you'll see, I don't think, at least not my experience, because again, the money is spread out among so many different properties. It's not like all your eggs are in one basket and there's a huge payoff. That's how some of these other somewhat comparable platforms will work, where your money is literally in one property and there's a big payoff when the thing sells, but that's not how Fundrise works. Now, when we go over here to net return and click on this, so we can look at this quarterly or annually, and we can look at it in terms of percentages or dollar amounts. And it's important to understand when you look over here, we switch this to quarterly and then look at dollar amounts. So you just kind of see this breakdown between dividends and appreciation. And in some years, the dividends are higher. In other years, the appreciation is higher. And similarly down here, when you look at this portfolio breakdown, you can look at it as a percentage base or dollars. You'll also see there's real estate here, and these are all the different REITs that the money is invested in. There's also private credit. So these are more like loans that have been extended. And with any one of these things, you can actually view the assets that are inside them. And you can go ahead and click on these things and see a lot of pretty helpful information just to understand, oh, these are like real properties. Like I could go and drive and see them myself if they want, if they would actually give me the addresses of these things, which they don't. But it just gives you some helpful visuals to understand where your money is spread across. Again, the bottom line is you still have no control over any of this stuff. You're just giving these fund managers their permission to put your money wherever they see fit. So it's, I guess, kind of fun and helpful to see that your money is in real tangible assets. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to actually have total control over your real estate investments, you would probably not be doing something like Fundrise. You would just buy a property yourself. But just in terms of creating a nice user-friendly interface, they did a pretty good job with it. We can also look at the map of where all these projects are located. And again, we're still in the private credit portion of my holdings, but it's kind of cool to see just the geographic breakdown of where these things are. Looks like a lot of them are in the southern US, Florida, Texas, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina. Not a whole lot going on in the Rust Belt or the Midwest. Not really sure why. Looks like there's something here in Pittsburgh, and there's also something here in New Jersey. And this has been the case since forever. Since I first put my money into Fundrise 9 years ago, all the projects always seem to be in this part of the country, probably because that's where it's growing, I would guess. You can also filter these by the asset type. Say if you're looking for only the preferred equity projects, you could apply that filter and then only see those ones. Pretty cool. But getting back to the bottom line, it's still not doing that great. Granted, it's not like losing money hand over fist, but inflation is definitely a real thing and has been over the past few years. In fact, it's been terrible over the past few years. So when you factor that in, this is pretty much losing money. Luckily, I don't really care that much because I got my money out years ago, but it's always just kind of helpful to pop in here and see, how's it going? Is it going well or not so well? And if you ever do want to invest more, they make it pretty easy to do that. There's this big old add funds button up here, and you can click on invest and put money in very easily. If you ever want to withdraw money, that's a little bit harder. Again, if you go check out my video from 2022, I showed exactly what I had to do to get my money out. Another thing to be aware of is that when you invest your money, you'll have the option of either saying, hey, when I make dividends, send them right to my bank account, or automatically reinvest those dividends. So what I had chosen to do was to have them automatically reinvested, and that's why we have any money here at all, because they were not sending those to my bank account. And I was kind of looking at this from the standpoint of like long-term retirement, like I don't need this money anytime soon. This is a long-term thing. So that was what I did. But an interesting thing about that is that when they reinvest your dividends, it takes 5 years to get that money back too. So that applies not only to the initial investment when I put my first $1,000 in here. I did that knowing that it would be 5 years before I was even allowed to ask them to give it back to me. And even when I did that, they might say no, but they said yes in my case. But the same thing goes for your dividends. So if you have dividends reinvested, you better be sure you don't need that money either for another 5 years from the date each dividend is reinvested. So for example, this April 2026 dividend that was just reinvested, I can't get that $1.63 back until April 2031, I think it is. So I find that a little annoying, but those are the rules and I agreed to them. But just be aware that's a thing and that's how it works. Now, another thing you can do here, if you're ever curious, even if you're not planning on doing this anytime soon, you can just go and browse the investments, see what's up. You can kind of see all the different funds they have. I think they've added quite a bit of funds to this compared to how many were available back when I first put my money into it. But you can just read a nice little write-up and understand what's going on here, why you may or may not want to put money in. You can see the historical returns from each individual fund. Or I guess this is the hypothetical growth. The historical return is seen right here. And I hope what you're taking away from this is, like anything, there is risk with Fundrise, and it might not always go up. And if you kind of get in at the right time, you can ride the growth. But the question is this the right time? Is there going to be growth over the next 1 to 2 to 5 to 10 years? I don't know. Nobody really does. But if you're somebody who's always kind of wanted to have your money invested in real estate, but you want to have none of the hands-on work and hassle required to own and manage real estate yourself, this could be something worth considering. And if you do want to do it, again, RETipster has an affiliate link. I'll have that beneath this video if you want to check it out, or just go to retipster.com/Fundrise. Hope this was helpful. Thanks again for watching. If you want to check out the full written review, I'm going to have a link to that beneath this video as well over on retipster.com with some more supplemental info that wasn't covered here in this video. Thanks again. Talk to you next time.